Welcome to this episode of AuditionME, a show about actors, for actors, being interviewed by an actor. I'm your host, Stephen Bird, and I hope that this show brings you some insight into the world of acting, what we do, how we do it, where we came from, and where we're going to. Each actor profile will consist on an actor-to-actor interview with me, followed by a real on-camera audition. Maybe it'll inspire you to get into our business. But for now, prepare yourself for this episode of AuditionME. Hi, I'm here today with a good acting friend of mine, Rick Cordero. Rick, how you doing?
Hi, Stephen. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's good to see you.
I'm very grateful for the opportunity to appear on your show, and I can't thank you enough for that. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. That's what it's all about, man. It's about letting people know who's out there, who's talented, and
absolutely. Who's talented? Okay, I'm on the wrong show now. Just kidding. I'll behave.
Yeah. No, it's great to have you on. You have really been on a roll since I've known you, anyways.
Yeah. You see, I moved here from Hamilton 2 years ago to pursue an acting career, and at the same time I just turned 40 years of age and was going through what some people would call a midlife crisis. So this whole acting thing is my midlife crisis. But in the 2 years now that I've been in Toronto, I've picked up work on 112 TV and film projects.
That's fantastic.
And now in January, which is typically the slow time of the year, I'm currently working on 6 different projects right now. So yeah, it's just, the ball just keeps rolling.
That's amazing. So it was worth the move from Hamilton.
I think so, yeah.
Well, hey, with all those projects, you would have been burning up the GO Transit fares and the QEW, going back and forth.
Initially, I was aiming to like stay in Hamilton and commute back and forth, but when you hit the winter and the weather gets bad, it just takes up too much of your time. So by moving to Toronto, I knocked out 4 hours from my daily commute.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
well, I was in Burlington, so I know that feeling.
Yeah.
But so tell me a little bit about your background. I know you said you got into acting a couple of years ago, but you were in Hamilton. What got you into acting?
Well, I got into doing some acting, like principal speaking roles 2 years ago, but I kind of got steered in this direction by accident in the summer of 2004. When a friend of mine in Hamilton introduced me to 2 lady friends who ran an agency for background performers. So I got to start working on film sets as an extra. But what was happening, I always got upgraded on sets to do stuff on camera with people like Heather Locklear and Dennis Hopper and Michael Madsen. It was happening all the time. So then I started thinking, you know what? They're picking me all the time and upgrading me. Maybe I should pursue it in, a principal speaking role. So in the Boxing Day 2008, I packed up my bags and moved to Toronto to pursue an acting career.
Wow, you just hung around for Christmas and then you got out of Dodge, eh?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. And so things started happening for you right away once you got moved here.
Right away. It's almost like, before when I was in Hamilton, everything I did, I was hitting a brick wall, nothing was working out. But then when I started dabbling in the TV film industry, everything just starts falling into place. Things were working out, I'm meeting the right people, I'm in the right places at the right time, and I figured, okay, you know what, I think this is gonna be it. And I'm on a roll right now. I'm working on some good projects. I got some good stuff coming down the line as well. So everything's on the up and up. And I'm also starting to wear a producer's hat. So I've started up my own production company as well with my partner, who's the Canada Bureau Chief for the Washington Times, Barry J. Brown. And he's a Pulitzer Prize nominated journalist. And we've already attracted interest from a broadcast network to produce a TV series that we're calling Truth Hunters, that will be shot on location in places like India, Middle East, and Northern Africa. So, you never know where it's going to take you when you start to go work in the TV film industry.
No, it's a great ride, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like I find out from so many people that I know in the business. We get into it, but we don't know where the roller coaster is going to take us. And because of our abilities or because of our looks or whatever it is, we all get down these different paths. But it just seems like everybody that I know is working to some degree. We're not really getting into slow periods.
Working, I think Like, I want to stay positive here, but I think when you're starting off as an actor, like anything, you need to work a lot. You need to practice and work on your craft in order to get better. If you don't do it, how are you going to get better? So I think for me personally, and I find for a lot of other people as well, most of the opportunities when you're starting out are from the non-union work, the project.
Oh,
so, you know, I don't want to tell people not to join an actor or to join an actor, because it's up to every individual person. It's different for every individual person. Every situation is different. But I think for the most part, I think the first 2 years, you should work as much as possible. Like, I take acting classes as well, but I find you really start to learn your stuff when you're on set working all the time. Just by working all the time, I'm getting better. And when you're non-union, that's where most of the opportunities are.
That's true. That's true. There's far more projects going on, even if they're low paying. It keeps you
That's
sharp.
right. That's right. So I look at this as like, I'm still going to school. Okay, maybe it doesn't pay as much as union jobs. I'm still getting paid something, but I'm working all the time. So I've kind of set it up in my mind that these first 2 or 3 years, I'm kind of like going to school. And then when school's over 3 years down the road, then I take the leap of faith and I join the union.
Right, right.
So,
and you know what? It's all a matter of timing too.
Yeah.
If you are picking up a lot of projects and you're working regularly, you know, you can't put any time frame on it.
Yeah.
It's nice to have the goal. It's certainly nice to have the goal. But like you say, you're starting up your own production company, and that, who knows what's going to be happening 2 or 3 years from now.
Absolutely. Like, my partner's not only a journalist, but he's also a screenwriter. He's written a ton of screenplays over the years. So I asked him one day, can I read a couple of them? So he opens up his filing cabinet and he blows the dust off of them. I start reading these screenplays. I'm going, oh my God, this guy, my partner is like the next Steven Spielberg. This guy's an amazing writer. So we also want to start producing our own films down the line after this TV series. And we've got a book DVD project that we're doing as well for this series called Noah Came from India. The series will be called Truth Hunter. And so you never know where it's going to take you. But getting back to the union thing, like, I'm non-union, but I've worked on union projects before too. A lot of actors don't realize when they're starting off that you're allowed to work on a union project and buy a permit to work on it, which will then allow you to stay non-union afterwards. I've had half a dozen opportunities where that's happened already. So it's not like you can't work on union productions.
Oh, no.
If they really want to cast you, they'll cast you. But if you're not ready to join the union, they'll let you buy a permit to work on it and continue staying non-union afterwards.
And sometimes, as was our experience, the production pays for the permit.
That's right. That happened with us on Burning Daylight.
That's right.
That also happened with me on the Kennedys, which I got to work on. That stars Katie Holmes, Greg Kinnear, and Tom Wilkinson. 8-part miniseries on the life and times of John F. Kennedy, and I got a small part playing Chicago gangster Sam Giancana's goon on that one. So.
Hey.
So it was fun. I got to work on a set with Tom Wilkinson, who's playing Joe Kennedy Sr. on that set.
Right.
A guy who's playing the Chicago mob boss, Sam Giancana, a young Toronto actor who got to play Frank Sinatra. It was just the 4 of us in the scene. And I look over my shoulder, and that's director John Cassar from 24. And I'm going, holy smokes, I'm working with the big boys now. This is good.
It's a nice feeling, isn't it?
It's a nice feeling, yeah.
After just 2 years out of Hamilton. Not too shabby.
Yeah. You know what's interesting about Hamilton, though? Like, a funny thing is, I moved out of Hamilton to pursue an acting career, moved to Toronto, but 40% of all the filmmaking in Ontario last year took place in Hamilton because they lie outside what is called the Toronto Film Zone. So anytime a film company decides to shoot there, they get extra tax credits from the Ontario government because Toronto's the film hub of Ontario. So what the Ontario government tries to do to encourage filming to other parts of the province is they offer these film companies extra tax breaks. So Hamilton benefits in 2 ways, is that they're close enough to Toronto, they get a lot of spillover work from Toronto, but they're also far enough away from Toronto and outside what they call the Toronto Film Zone that these extra tax breaks start to kick in for them. So last year, 40% of all the filmmaking in Ontario was in Hamilton, and they don't even have any film studios left. So I'm trying to push some of the business leaders and politicians in Hamilton to get going with some film studios, because they got people like Steven Spielberg and Ron Howard and David Cronenberg shooting films there all the time. And we have a number of these empty factory and warehouse buildings in the North End that used to, you know, cater to the steel industry that are just sitting there empty that could very easily be transformed into film studios.
But they're also great locations. I mean, that's the one thing that Hamilton offers as opposed to Toronto. It's a grittier town, and like you say, lots of industrial sites.
Yeah, blue collar.
And it really can portray that mid-American city, you know, that place in Pennsylvania or wherever.
Pittsburgh, Southside Chicago, Detroit.
Plus, you also have the benefit of Dundas being right next door. So there you have a quaint little town, small town America.
Yeah, very versatile. And another thing they don't know about Hamilton is they've got over 100 waterfalls in Hamilton. Yeah. So we've got that too. It's one of those gems that people don't know about. But they got to get going with the film studio. So that's kind of a side project I'm working on.
Well, you get on that, will you? Okay. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do now. We're going to move you into your piece. And
great.
I'm looking forward to seeing you up there.
All right. Thank you very much, Stephen.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
All right.
If you would like to be featured on AuditionME or learn more about the show, you can go to our website, auditionme.ca. Get in touch with us on our website. We'd be more than happy to have you.
What are you doing in here? How the hell did you get in here? The back door? Huh. You know what the problem, you guys, is? I do all the f***ing work around here and bust my balls, and I gotta pay you 10% of everything, or you can't forget about it. D'Amato, what's up? Business? Business is slow around here. And cheap they only order a beer and sip it all night long. They only give me a 50-cent tip, too. I want to take this ice pick and stick it up their f***ing asses. All right, D'Amato, I'll take it easy. But how are we going to stay afloat with the club half empty all the time? All right, I know you pay the bills, Buck. Come on, man. Oh, wait a second. Is that who I think it is? They don't look too happy way back in that corner. Gino, don't worry about it. I got your back. Nobody's having any free bottles around here tonight. They can buy their own like everyone else. Out back. Salute.